Hi, I'm Rick at Rick Turns, and today's video is... Okay, I like to make an entrance, except I was supposed to land over there, so I'm going to do it again. I really got to work on my aim some. This just isn't working out right. Definitely getting too old for those kind of openings. All right, I got another big chunk of mulberry here. This is a piece of mulberry. It's a big mulberry log. It's a heavy mulberry log. And the pith, oops, pith is right here. So I could slice right through there and get two bowl blanks, but I think I'm going to cut it right through here because I want to have a sort of a vase that's going to go out like that, like my gravity warp bowl a few months ago. So, going to cut right through there. I feel like I'm wasting a lot of wood, but hey. Alrighty, I got my chainsaw here. This is my Oregon self-sharpening chainsaw, which is kind of cool. And first cut, gonna get rid of this piece of the log here. Definitely going to keep that. Might get a little bowl out of it sometime. All right, now my next cut is over here. Now this one's going to be along the grain, and it's going to be a slow cut. All right, well, it actually took me about 3 cuts, but got rid of the pith here. Actually, the pith is right there on the edge. That's not a problem. So I'll be getting rid of that. It's not a real good chainsaw cut as usual. Gonna be using this faceplate right here, which is about 3 inches, 4 inches, I hope. 4 inches. All right. Now this is going to end up being the top. And all this is going to be hollowed out, so I can put in any length screws I want here. So, getting this huge, heavy piece of log mounted is going to be fun. Well, it's not that bad. Now that I cut away some of it, it's still pretty heavy. Let's see how fast I can get that going. Turn it down to 0. Not fast. That's about 220. RPM by 5/8 inch bowl gouge. Now this is a chuck I'm going to use to chuck this piece for the hollowing of the interior. And I'm going to use it mainly because of the depth here. It's got a lot of depth there. So the tenon I'm going to need for this, I'm not going to use a recess, I am going to use a tenon. This is to the outside 85 millimeters. So I'm going to set this to half of that, which would be 42.5 plus a couple. Okay, that's right at 44 for my last project, so twirl it down a little bit. And let's give that a trial fit. Looks awfully big. What am I doing wrong here? Oh. Okay, yep, silly mistake, silly mistake. For the tenon size, I need that distance right there, of course. And that is, that is 50 millimeters. Half of that's going to be 25. Yeah. Well, here's a problem I've never run into before. I took this off, as you can tell, right here. Started unscrewing the screws to get off the faceplate, and hey, look at that. I had 3 screws totally break apart instead of coming out. 3 screws did come out, and I've still got 2 screws left in there that I can't get out. So, not a good situation. I'm gonna go ahead and mount this in the chuck here, and bring up the tailstock, of course, and then I'm gonna try and cut in here with a parting tool. It'll probably tear up the edge of my parting tool when I hit these embedded screws, but it's the only thing I can think of that might get it out. And here we go. I'm gonna start off with my 5/8 inch gouge just to take down some of this material here. It's about 900 RPM. Gotta try cutting down like that. See if I can avoid hitting the screws with the tip of my parting tool. Right. I hope that this will cut through that steel. Nope. And now back to the parting tool, because I'm on clear wood now. Yay! Still got to get this stub of wood right off of here. About 1100 there. Well, I guess that did it. Time to check the wall thickness. Got about 1/4 inch right there, up to 3/8, up to 1/2. Okay, so I need to thin the wall thickness down some there. I don't think I'm going to go any deeper than that. That's maybe an inch away from the bottom, but that's okay. It needs to have some weight at the bottom anyway. All right, I'm going to declare that done. Okay, I am going to be starting with 120 grit, which is really pretty rough. But I want to take off those glue stains, and I don't want to do it with a tool because the wood is a little bit weak. Now then, I'm going to turn it. That's right above 500. I don't want to go any faster than that. It just builds up extra heat. Well, that was a lot of sanding. Sanded down to 800 grit. Then I dampened the whole thing and sanded the 800 grit again. That last dampening was to raise the grain. Now, I'm initially going to put on a coat of utility finish, Mahoney's Finishes utility finish. Now, this is just walnut oil, heat-treated, filtered walnut oil. Not sure why it's heat-treated, but now I'm going to put on, I think, 2 coats of this. After that, I might spray on a varnish. I haven't quite decided yet. In any event, I'll be back after I've put on this coat of walnut oil, let that dry and soak in, and then put on another coat of walnut oil. I'm back. I've got about 2 coats of the walnut oil on here. I just sanded it over that with 1000 grit. And I'm going to put a varnish finish on here now. I'm going to use this right here. This is a water-based varnish. And got this off Amazon. Going to put it on pretty light because it'll drip on any curved surface like that. It's going to drip, and then it's going to have sags in it, and I'll have to sand them away or even cut them away. So I got to put a number of very light coats on here. Okay. I've got 4 coats of that spray-on varnish on here, and it's really looking pretty good. Now I'm going to finish this up with just some of Axe polishing paste. I want to get a little bit of wax on it, make it look good. And then I'm going to be ready to part it off. This is the Axe polishing paste. I'm not going to put it on real heavy because I don't want to get my knot here all clogged up. That's about 200 RPM. You can see how it's wobbling now. It's already dried off a bit and started to shrink, and it's going to look really good when it really does shrink. I'm going to turn the speed up a little bit for the polishing, although it kind of makes it hard because it bumps my fingers off. Going to be using this parting tool, and it's got a groove or a recess right through there, so it's got two sharp tips. So as it cuts and parts, those sharp tips also give you a little bit cleaner cut on the outside. And I need to move this up a little bit. Okay, I'm going to cut it in right about there, right before that little bit of a rise there. And let's get going here. There we go. Take that off with a little chisel. Okay, off to the workbench. Looks good. All right, off the lathe. We got this little nub right in there that I want to get off. And I've got a small curved chisel here. And one last application of walnut oil right on the bottom. Seal the wood a little bit, at least darken it down to match the rest. And this is what I was going for. Now this top is a lot smaller than this one was, which I had hoped it'd be bigger, but it didn't turn out that way, so hey. Anyway, just wanted to show you this one. This was turned green just like this. Same tree, as a matter of fact. Take a look at how the top of that bowl has warped. It is awesome. It is really, really cool. And that's what I'm expecting from this bowl right here. I expect it to warp. It already has started warping some. It hasn't warped a whole lot yet. I hope it warps as evenly as this one did. And you can see this was only 2 months, maybe 3 months ago, but you can see how it's darkened already. So this is mulberry, both pieces. It darkens down to this medium brown color. It might get darker, I'm not sure about that. All right, turned out pretty good, I'm pleased. See you next video.